as we're going to work to make the 2028 the next best national championship game in the playoff history. Now, if you'll allow me to introduce the leader of our tourism effort here in New Orleans, the president and CEO of New Orleans and Company, Walt Leger. Walt is a pro's pro when it comes to major events, and he's one of the very first people to step up and pledge support of our efforts to host this national championship. He's been a friend to the Sugar Bowl committee and to the community at large, and we're proud to have him as a teammate. Walt?
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. When you've got teammates like you and the governor and Rich here, there's not a whole lot left for me to say. But as a recovering politician, I'll say a few words anyway. Governor, I really want to thank you for your leadership. It's been incredible. There's been a lot of comments about that already made today. But when Walter Becker and Jeff Hundley and I made our way up to your office just about a year ago, there was no hesitation when we talked about this event. You have from the beginning recognized the significance of major events like this for how they drive the economy and create opportunity for the 95,000 people who work in this industry, the 95,000 Louisianians who thrive on it, the thousands of businesses that benefit from this economic impact when it happens. But yes, to answer your earlier question, it feels really good to win. And it feels really good today to have a renewed partnership with the CFP. This will be the 5th time in the modern era that we've hosted the college football championship. I do want to say that although 2012 was a national championship game, as an LSU grad, we kind of sometimes pretend that that game never happened. But we are thrilled to be here with our partners at the Superdome who've continued to present us with a magnificent facility to do this. The Sugar Bowl Commission, incredible. The whole community. And on behalf of the board at New Orleans and Company, we're just incredibly grateful to have the opportunity to show the world once again in 2028 why New Orleans is built to host. For all the reasons that have already been stated. Just last night, someone was telling me a major conference customer of ours was saying that they came in for the Super Bowl and that they were blown away that they could walk out of one of the greatest restaurants in the world and walk over here without getting on a bus, to your point, Governor, and to yours, Rich. You just can't do that anywhere else. This community is built to host. But it's not just built to host because of the facilities. It's built to host because of all the professionals in this room, all the professionals, the Sports Foundation, the Sugar Bowl Commission, the team at New Orleans and Company, the team here at the Superdome. They recognize that events like this don't just happen. People don't just show up and the event happens. It happens because real professionals put on and produce events of high caliber. And that's part of the reason why events like this one come back to the city of New Orleans time and time again. It's because we're infrastructure-wise built to host, but this community of restaurants, of event venues, of meeting planners, and the list really goes on, are true professionals of the highest caliber that demonstrate to customers and clients around the world that we're going to continue to deliver world-class events for you when you come here. So 2028 will certainly be no different, but between now and then, all the people in this room, the whole team will be working together to make sure that we're ready to put on the greatest show on earth when you do come here in 2028. So we're excited for 2028, but as the governor said, we're looking forward to locking in the next one after that as well. No time to rest. So thank you for the partnership, and thank you, Jeff and Dottie, for everything that you do, not just when the game is going on, but the things that you do for the community each and every day. Tens of millions of dollars over the years invested in community growth, development, and support, and supporting amateur athletes. That really, really matters, and it matters every day. So we're grateful to be a teammate of yours. Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate that, Walt. Also appreciate your comments about the fact that we're built to host. Of course, the professional football world saw as much with the recent Super Bowl. And now with this national championship, we're going to have an opportunity to prove the same to the college football world. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the president of the volunteer-based Sugar Bowl Committee, Dottie Reese. Dottie's been a devoted and effective businesswoman and community leader in New Orleans for a long time now. And as a Sugar Bowl officer, she's played a pivotal role in all the community-based initiatives the Sugar Bowl undertakes on an annual basis. You could say Dottie's definitely doing her part to keep New Orleans sweet. Dottie?
Thank you, Jeff, and good morning, everyone. Rich, to you, we are just so very grateful for the opportunity to host the CFP's crown jewel, the national championship game, and of course, all of the events that will come with it. Your trust in us is appreciated, and we're eager to show you that it is well placed. Of course, hosting a major event like the College Football Playoff National Championship requires a complete city and statewide effort. And we're fortunate to have so many different groups coming alongside the Sugar Bowl Committee to make this a reality. Representatives of many of these vitally important entities are here, and so I'd like to recognize and thank the following for their stalwart support. Our governor, Jeff Landry, and the state of Louisiana. U.S. Representative and House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and U.S. Representative Troy Carter were scheduled to be here, but were called back to Washington, D.C. Many of our esteemed state legislators from both the Senate and House of Representatives, including the President of the Senate, Cameron Henry, and Speaker of the House, Philip DeVilliers. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser and the State Office of Tourism. Susan Bourgeois and the Louisiana Department of Economic Development. Kevin Dollier, CEO of New Orleans Louis Armstrong Airport. The mayor's budget address is taking place this morning, and because of that, the esteemed members of the New Orleans City Council, Helena Moreno, J.P. Morrell, Joe DeRusso, Leslie Harris, Freddie King, Eugene Green, and Oliver Thomas, along with the Director of Homeland Security, Colin Arnold, Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick, and Fire Chief Roman Nelson are unable to join us as well. But we're grateful for their ongoing support and partnership as we prepare to welcome the 2028 National Championship to New Orleans. We want to recognize further and acknowledge the support of the New Orleans and Company, led by Walt Leger, Chairman Philip Sherman, and CEO Jay Cicero of the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation, Keith Gill, Commissioner of the Sun Belt Conference, Rob Vosbian, Chairman of the LSED, along with Superdome leaders Doug Thornton, Evan Holmes, and Mike Schilling. The New Orleans Saints Organization, and specifically Mrs. Gail Benson, Dennis Lauscha, and Ben Hales. The New Orleans Ernest Morial Convention Center, that is led by Jim Cook. The local and state hospitality community, including Mavis Early with the Greater New Orleans Hotel and Lodging Association, and Stan Harris with the Louisiana Restaurant Association. The Greater New Orleans Foundation, led by Andy Copland. GNO Inc., led by Michael Heck. The Downtown Development District, led by Seth Knudsen. Members of the New Orleans Clergy. The New Orleans Chamber of Commerce, led by Sandra Lindquist. The Audubon Institute, led by Michael Sawaya. And of course, my colleagues, the many members of the Sugar Bowl Committee who are led by a talented group of officers, President-elect Riley Busenlener, Vice President Sam Zurich III, Treasurer Scott Duggins, Secretary Judge Brian Jackson, Chair of the Executive Committee Richard Breedy, and immediate past President Walter Becker. You all, the Sugar Bowl Committee has served as a strong, generous, and committed corporate citizen for over 9 decades. And during that time, we have welcomed 29 national champions to New Orleans, more than any other city. In the past decade alone, the Sugar Bowl efforts have created over $2 billion in economic impact and nearly $200 million in direct tax revenue for the city and the state. Since 2019, the Sugar Bowl has worked with the College Football Playoff Foundation to provide $5 million to support public school teachers in this area and has awarded over $750,000 to deserving young high school boys and girls in our community. And when a need has shown itself, we step up. The Sugar Bowl has been there time and time again to lend a hand. When COVID hit, the organization stepped up to provide $500,000 to support struggling hospitality workers, and additional funds were allocated to create internet hotspots for underserved communities when remote learning became our reality. This year, after the January 1st incident, we donated another $500,000 to aid victims and to support law enforcement initiatives. Simply put, we're entrenched in this community and proud that the community has been able to count on the Sugar Bowl for 92 years. Today, we are just excited and proud to once again provide millions of Sugar Bowl dollars to help make the 2028 National Championship a reality for New Orleans and Louisiana. We appreciate the chance to host, and we're indebted to the people here today for your support as we go forward towards a great championship event. Thank you so much.